When you are over here, you make bad decisions. You are reactive. You do not have access to the resources of loving and caring and resolving and high levels of intellectual capabilities and power when you are in an emotional state. It's turned off. Your resources to resolve and to de-escalate situations is turned off. What you are feeling and thinking when the lizard's in charge is a lie. It's 99% of the time not accurate. It's not a time to react. I want you guys to understand that fundamentally we have two brains. We have the lizard brain and we have the wizard brain. Whenever you have any type of an emotional reaction to anything, these emotional responses, we call these a trigger. A trigger can be just I'm just a little bit off my game, a little bit irritated, annoyed, a little bit of anxiety or whatever, or it could be I'm really upset, I'm shaking, sweaty palms, angry, like my heart rate's hyper elevated. Anytime something happens, your brain immediately is going to bounce it off of a lot of social conditioning that you've had happen your whole life, and that event is going to be interpreted for you, an interpretation of good or bad. When an event shows up for your computer, if it shows up as good, guess which part of your brain turns on? The wizard. If an event shows up as bad for you, guess which brain turns on? The lizard. The lizard brain, by design of the way we have evolved or made, is designed to do one of two things: fight or flight. The wizard's job is to grow, love, care, and resolve. What we're talking about here is emotional intelligence, aka EQ. It stands for emotional quotient. So you hear me say EQ. We have to be optimizing our EQ as leaders. Everybody has a current different level of performance of what we call EQ, aka mental resilience. There's a direct and proportionate relationship to your EQ score and your leadership ability. You have to start to notice, that's weird, why am I have a little sweaty palm? Why am I a little elevated heart rate? I'm a little bit, okay. What's going on? I'm a little bit triggered right now. It's a time to go for a walk. It's a time to go to the store, get some water, do a little meditation, breathe, put your meditation app on, read your book, go journal. It's not a time to react. Lizard brain's kind of like being in a pit too. What do we need to do in the pit? If I'm triggered, I'm in lizard brain, what's the way that can get me out? I'm like, help, where's the helicopter? Like I need a lifeline. What do I need to do? What can I do for self-management to have mental resilience to bounce back quicker, faster? Who knows?
Step away.
Yeah, don't react, step away, reset, use some tools, right? But what's the lifeline out of the pit, the lifeline out of the trigger? It's also an L. I got to learn or get a lesson. Hold on, there's a lesson here. I don't want the lesson. I want to go kick somebody or punch them or tell them to off, right? But there's a lesson. So we got to pause, breathe, reset, reboot. What's this trying to teach me? What's the lesson? What's the learning? We must find a lesson in the pit. We must learn in the pit. We must find a lesson or a learn in the lizard. Once you see the lesson and you see the role you have in the thing, then you can go fix it and prevent it. So someone give me a trigger recently that happened to you and you're like, I don't think there's any learning in it. Who would like to be humble or vulnerable and share? Who can tell me? If somebody have an event you could share openly with us, and we're going to work it together. I'm going to show you how the tool works.
And so anyway, I worked out this deal for him to where
Yep.
he would have money left over his insurance claim.
Yep.
We would still make money. He could paint his house like he wanted to. Well, for some reason, like when we get down to like getting everything done, he starts being a real asshole.
Okay.
About irrelevant like easy fix stuff.
Yep.
And I just lost it. And I was there in his driveway with my project manager that
Mm-hmm.
finished everything off, and I was there, and he didn't have the check for me.
Yep.
And my project manager, John,
Yep.
was shocked at how I talked to this guy. Because basically I told him in not so many words that he was a piece of not having my check ready right at that minute.
Yep. Okay.
And so finally, I just had to say, John, you handle this whole situation.
Yep.
You see,
Because you're going to lose. Yeah.
because I can't.
Yeah.
This guy's such
Yep.
a trigger for me.
That showed up as a lack of what? He was lacking, give me the word. It was very what of him?
Like disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. Okay. So here's the other thing about a trigger. Okay. You guys all have a keyword. Some of you I've given a keyword. Some of you I haven't. We all have one word that will trigger the F out of us. And it goes back to what and I'm going to get right into raw right now with you guys. It goes back to what we were lacking from our father mostly, and a little bit of our mom when we were a little boy, little girl in our developmental years, okay? My trigger word, but also my key word, is care. My father didn't bring me and give me the care and love that I wanted as a little boy. So anything that shows up in my subconscious supercomputer, my interpretation, remember a minute ago we talked about we interpret events. So it's a little bit more complex here. Anything for me that shows up looking like careless is going to evoke a hyper trigger response out of me. But it's not about this particular event. It's about my lizard brain going, oh, beep, 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 pain, hurt, this looks like that, emotion. Likely your word is respect. We'll explore this later, but just for you to know, anything that shows up or looks like disrespect is going to take you from 0 to 1,000. Whenever you're triggered, you need to bring to the game, bring to the universe, bring to your relationship, bring to your customer, bring to your people more of what you would like to show up. So the lesson or the learning in all of your triggers is bring more respect. You might need some agreements on the front end of how we're going to operate in this dynamic called we're having a relationship. It's in the enrollment. It's in the agreement. Look, here's how this job's going to go down. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to expect a payment along the way. Here's the core values and words in which we're going to communicate. Here's how we're going to communicate. You have to set up a respectful agreement on the front end. That's the learning in that event. Whenever we get emotionally triggered, there's a lesson in there, and there's something that we own. We always own in the trigger. There's a trigger. We have to relate it to our keyword. What's the lizard telling me? I want to punch this guy in the throat. What would the wizard do once we can reset and reboot right here? Okay, we gotta kind of cool off a little bit. We gotta shift from lizard to wizard story. The wizard is going to have the answers and the resolution. The lizard wants to fight or flight. But the trick, the hack of this matter is, what's the role I played into it? I set up the agreement and the engagement wrong from the beginning. I don't have core values. I don't let people know how we're going to talk to each other. I don't set up the payment progress plan. I don't tell them the importance of showing up to the event or whatever, right? That's why I'm resetting my agreements with you guys all today, because there's been some people in the community that haven't been respecting the community, respecting the work we're doing. I got triggered, but I had to own that, and it got back to me not having crystal clear, clean agreements on the front end in that particular trigger that I have with some of the people that are no longer part of the BCK and some that are still here but didn't show up and have a tendency to not show up. Does that make sense? So in my trigger, lizard is fuck him, them, right? But then really what is it? Okay, let me reset, reboot relationship. The role I played is I'm not enrolling people properly. And then that's the lesson and resolution is I need to have better core values. I need to have better agreements. I need to train lead better. So that's how that game works.